All right, so here's another question where you have to take a composition of functions, but this time it's a little bit different because we do have non-permissible values here. So let's go ahead and find that equation. We want to find the function f of g of x. So that g function is going to be placed right inside the f function. So in other words here, my nice little sentence says, in f of x, you're going to replace x with 16x squared over 5x minus 1. And remember, that expression represents the g of x function. So let's go ahead and write that out. My first I have to take a look at the first function here, which is f of x. Notice that we do start out with an x, but instead of an x, you're going to rewrite it as that expression right there. So you have 16x squared over 5x minus 1, and don't forget, we do have another part of the function, which is adding 1. Okay, so from here, because we do have a rational expression involved here, we need to state the non-permissible values. And that non-permissible values comes from that denominator. 5x minus 1, set it equal to 0 and solve for x. So first thing you want to do is add 1 to both sides. I have 5x is equal to positive 1. Finally, I divide both sides by 5, which means I get a non-permissible value at 1 over 5. Once we state our non-permissible values, we have to go ahead and simplify this rational expression. So when you simplify a rational expression, you got to make sure that the denominators are the same. Notice that this one can be written as 1 over 1. So rewrite this fraction, 1 over 1, with the same denominator as this fraction. So we have 16x squared over 5x minus 1. And if we're going to rewrite 1 over 1 with the same denominator, we have 5x minus 1 over, oh, sorry about that, there shouldn't be any brackets there, 5x minus 1, that's better, over 5x minus 1, okay? Once we have the same denominator, we can go ahead and add the numerators. So we have 16x squared plus 5x minus 1, and that's all over a common denominator of 5x minus 1, okay? You can try and go ahead, since we want it in simplified form, we can go ahead and try to PSA the top there. So PSA, and our product is going to be negative 1, sorry, not negative 1, but negative 16. Okay, and our sum is going to be 5. And if you take a look, there aren't any numbers that fit this situation. So therefore, my simplified form is just written as is. F of g of x is equal to 16x squared plus 5x minus 1, all over 5x minus 1. And remember, we have an NPV at that point right there. So that is how you take a composition of functions where a non-permissible value is involved.